Hello students, in the last class we have revised some basic concepts and important formulae which we are going to use so many times in this paper. Now in the today's class we are going to study direction cosines and direction ratios of a line. But before going to the direction cosines and direction ratios of a line, first of all we will see what is meant by the angle between two lines. So we very well know that the angle between two intersecting lines can be very easily obtained. How it is defined? Let us see. Let us consider two intersecting lines. Suppose one is a line L that we denote by the L and the other is the M. Suppose L and M are two intersecting lines, okay, and they intersect at this point. L and M are two intersecting lines which intersect at this point. Then there are obviously two pairs of angles between them. One is the alpha. Alpha is angle between them and beta is also angle between them. So if two lines are intersecting, means if they are in the same plane, then the angle between them can be very easily obtained, as we know, okay. If the lines are parallel, then obviously we can say that the angle between them is 0. Okay, if the lines do not intersect, then we say that they are parallel and the angle between them is 0. Now, let us consider what happens if the lines are non-coplanar. Okay, non-coplanar means if they lie in the two different planes. Now, if the lines are non-coplanar, then such lines we are going to call as the skew lines. Non-coplanar lines we are going to call as the skew lines. Okay, non-coplanar. Non-coplanar. Non-coplanar lines are also called as skew lines. Skew lines. Okay, such type of statements are very important in case of the multiple choice questions examination. Means the objective type of questions are asked in whichever exam are asked, such questions are asked many times. Okay, so skew lines. So if the lines are skew lines, then we'll study how the angle between lines is defined. Now see how the angle between two non-coplanar lines is defined. Okay, let us consider the two non-coplanar lines as shown in the figure here. Suppose this is one plane and there is a line L in this plane, and there is another plane which has line M in it. Clearly these lines are non-coplanar, means skew lines. Now how to find the angle between these two lines? So in such situations the angle between lines is defined as the angle between two non-coplanar, that is non-intersecting lines, is the angle between two intersecting lines drawn from any point parallel to each of the given lines. Okay, so angle between these two non-intersecting means skew lines is nothing but it is same as the angle between two intersecting lines drawn from any point in such a way that they are parallel to the original lines, which means that we'll draw a line which is parallel to line M in such a way that it will intersect the line L. Okay, see here how it can be drawn. So we'll draw such a line. Such line will be as such. A line which is parallel to the line M will draw such that it intersects the line L. Okay, then the angle between these two lines. Now if this is the line which is parallel to the line M, we'll indicate it by the M dash. Okay, let M dash be a line which is parallel to the given line M, and then we'll call this as for instance M dash. This is our line M dash. Then the angle between line L and M, angle between lines L and M is same as the angle between lines L and M dash. In such a way, the angle between two non-intersecting or skew lines is defined. Or the line can be drawn here in the first plane, or we can draw the line which is parallel to the line L in the second plane in such a way that it intersects the line M. So that is also permissible. So let us consider that also. So we'll consider a line which is parallel to the line L and intersects the line M in such a way. Okay, so this is also permissible. So, and obviously if it is so, we'll denote this line by the L dash. So the angle between given lines L and M is same as the angle between L and M dash, or angle between L dash and M. Or there is a third one method, which is draw lines which are neither in the first plane nor in the second plane and parallel to the given lines L and M. We'll draw those lines also. Okay, so we'll draw a line which is parallel to the line L. Suppose this is the line which is parallel to the line L. Okay, this is a line parallel to the line L, and we'll draw another line which is parallel to the line M. Suppose that line is this. Then the angle between these two lines, okay, angle between these two lines L, now these are the lines L dash and M dash. So the angle between L dash and M dash is same as the angle between given lines L and M. In such a way, the angle between two non-coplanar lines is defined. Now, after defining this, next one will move to the direction cosines of a line. Now let us see the direction cosines of a line. Okay, direction cosines are in short also written as DCS. D for the direction and for the cosines CS. So DCS of a line. And very often for the direction cosines we are going to use this short form DCS. So here if we have a line L, okay, if we have a given line L, then we'll draw a line which is parallel to the given line. If L is a line, then we draw a line which is parallel to the given line in such a way that it passes through the origin. And if it passes through the origin, then we can easily find out the angle between that line and the positive directions of X, Y and Z axis. Okay, and after finding those angles, if we take the cosine of those angles, then it is nothing but it is called the direction cosines of a line L. Okay, so let us see. Let L be the given line, and then we have drawn a line L dash which is parallel to the given line L in such a way that it passes through the origin. Then let alpha be the angle between L dash and positive direction of X. Okay, beta be the angle between given line L dash and positive direction of Y axis, and gamma be the angle between given line L dash and the positive direction of Z axis. Then cosine of means cos ratio of alpha, beta and gamma is the called as the direction cosine of the line L dash, means of the line L also. Okay, so it is explained here by drawing the diagram, but the actual definition also will mention here. How it can be defined? See here. So let alpha, beta, gamma. Okay, so if, or we can say that the angle, the cosine, the cosines of angles, the cosines of angles made by a line with the positive directions of with the positive directions of coordinate axis. Axis is singular and axis is plural. Okay, with the positive directions of coordinate axis are called the DCS, means direction cosines of the line. So in this way the direction cosines of a line are defined. Okay, DCS of a line. So it is explained by drawing a diagram also here. Next one. Now obviously if alpha, beta and gamma are the angles made by line L with the positive directions of x, y and z axis, then what are the direction cosines? So direction cosines of this line L are, okay, so therefore our definition, as per our definition, we can say that therefore cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are the DCS, means direction cosines of given line L. DCS of given line L. Okay, cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are the DCS of given line L. So in such a way we can find out the direction cosines of a line. Now we will solve one example on this and then we will proceed. Okay, now see here. One example on this is that a simple example on this, just for the understanding purpose of this new concept. Okay, so this example. So in this example it is asked that find the direction cosines of axis of coordinates. Okay, find the direction cosines of the direction cosines, means DCS of axis of coordinates. Axis of coordinates, or it can be also said as coordinate axis. Okay, so find the DCS of axis of coordinates. So we have to find out the direction cosines of coordinate axis. So we'll solve this one. This is a very simple example, so we'll solve this one. Solution. Okay, so what we have to find out? We have to find out the direction cosines of axis of coordinates. So we'll begin with the x-axis. Okay, so we know that the x-axis, okay, we know that the x-axis makes angles. X-axis makes angles 0 degree, 90 degree and 90 degree with positive directions of coordinate axis. Coordinate axis means x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Okay, so therefore cosine of 0 degree, okay, then cosine of 90 degree, cosine means cosine ratio, cos ratio, and again for the last one angle also means cosine of 90 degree. That is, we know the values of cos 0, cos 90, so on. So we'll find out those. Okay, so that is what these values are. we know that cos of the 0 degrees is 1. So 1, that is 1. Then cos of the 90 degrees is 0. And cos of the 90 degrees is 0. Okay. So therefore 1, 0, 0 are the direction cosines, means DCS of x-axis. Okay, these are the direction cosines of x-axis. Now the similar can be used for the remaining two also. Again we know that the y-axis makes angles 90 degree, 0 degree and 90 degree with the positive directions of coordinate axis. Always we have to take the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis in order. Okay, their order should not be disturbed. So obviously the y-axis makes 90 degree, 0 degree and 90 degree angles with the positive directions of x, y and z axis, means the coordinate axis. Therefore direction cosines of y-axis will be, obviously it will be cos of 90 degree, cos of 0 degree, cos of 90 degree, that is 0, 1, 0. Okay, so not necessary to write all these things for the remaining two as they are similar to this. So we'll mention only the, in short we'll mention it. Okay, so similarly DCS, direction cosines of y-axis, similarly direction cosines of y-axis are, what are direction cosines of y-axis? So those will be the cos of 90 degree. This I am writing only for the understanding purpose. Okay, actually we can directly write down the values also. So cos of 90 degree, cos of 0 degree and cos of 90 degree once again. As we know that the y-axis is parallel to itself, therefore cos of 0 degree in the middle, and it is perpendicular to x and z axis, therefore cos of 90 degree for the first and third position. Okay, so that is 0, 1 and 0. So these are the direction cosines of y-axis, and again for the z-axis also we have. Okay, and the direction cosines of z-axis and the DCS, direction cosines of z-axis are. Okay, so the direction cosines of z-axis will be obviously cos of the 90 degree, comma cos of 90 degree, comma cos of 0 degree, which is nothing but 0, 0, 1. So 0, 0, 1. Okay, cos of 90, cos of 90, cos of 0 means 0, 0, 1. So likewise we have obtained the direction cosines of coordinate axis. So we have solved this example. Now next we'll move to find out a useful relationship. A useful relationship. A useful relationship. Here we are going to obtain a relationship that we are going to use many times in this first unit especially. Okay, so see here, let O be the origin of the coordinates. So we'll draw a diagram first of all here. Okay, so let us consider that we have the x, y and z axis, means the coordinate axis. Okay, let we have the x-axis. Okay, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, means the coordinate axis we have. Okay, then origin is the obviously origin, intersection of these three axes is the origin. Okay, so then let us consider a point P. Okay, it is anywhere in the space. So P be a point in the space. Consider P any point in the space. Here is suppose the point P. Okay, and obviously the intersection of these three lines is origin. O is the origin. This is x-axis, then y-axis and z-axis, x, y and z-axis. Okay, then through the point P we draw a line passing through the origin, means OP. We'll join the points O and P. Join the points O and P to get a line segment OP. This is OP. Okay, and from the point P we will draw a perpendicular on the x-axis. So that perpendicular is suppose here. Through the point P we have drawn a perpendicular on the x-axis. As this is a diagram of 3 dimension and we are drawing in 2D, so therefore you have to visualize this in the space. Okay, so we have drawn this one perpendicular. So this is this one. This was the point P. Okay, and we have drawn a perpendicular on, this is 90 degree angle. Foot of the perpendicular is at the point L, which is obviously on the x-axis. Okay, so and let us suppose that the angle made by the segment OP with the positive direction of x-axis is suppose alpha. So this much construction is sufficient for us. Okay, so see here now. Let us move to the obtaining the relationship. Let O be the origin of the coordinates and x, y, z be the coordinate of the point P. P is suppose our point, which is x, y, z. Coordinates of point P are x, y, z. This is point having coordinates x, y and z. Okay, this is the point P. Then we have to obtain a relationship that x equal to LR, y equal to MR, z equal to NR, where L, M, N are the direction cosines of the line OP and R is the length of the segment OP. Okay, length of the segment OP is given, it is given as the R. R is the length of the segment OP. Then what we have to obtain? Then we have to show that, obtain the relationship that x equal to LR. We have to obtain the relationship, that relationship is, we have to show that x equal to LR. Okay, show that x equal to LR, y equal to MR and z equal to NR. So this we have to show. Okay, so we'll obtain this relationship. So we have made a construction as it is explained in detail. Now next one, see here. Through the point P we have drawn a line PL which is perpendicular on the x-axis. Okay, in such a way that the distance OL is equal to, then obviously the distance OL will be equal to x. Okay, it is clear from the diagram also. So see here, I am mentioning here. So through the point P, through the point P, draw a perpendicular on x-axis. Okay, draw perpendicular on x-axis and foot of perpendicular. Suppose that the foot of the perpendicular is at the point L. Okay, then from figure it is clear that then what we have? Then we have the distance OL is equal to L as it was explained in the earlier class. Okay, so distance OL is equal to x. Distance OL is nothing but, what is the distance OL? Distance OL is the perpendicular distance of point P. Okay, perpendicular distance of point P from the YZ plane, which is the x coordinate of that point. So it is equal to x. I will write down this in the figure also. So what we have? Distance OL is equal to x we have obtained. So this distance is x. Okay, next one. Now what it is given again. So it is, if we consider the right angle triangle OLP. Okay, we have the right angle triangle OLP. So in the right angle triangle OLP, we have this, what we have to find out. We have the angle alpha. It is given that this is the angle alpha. Okay, this angle is given as alpha. So then, if alpha is the angle made by the line OP with the positive direction of x-axis, then we have to find out the cosine of this angle, as because we have this length OL and length OP. We don't know the length PL. So as we have length OL and OP, therefore in terms of these two, the trigonometric ratio which is in terms of these two quantities is obviously cos. Okay, because cos of any angle is in a right angle triangle is equal to the, what it will be equal to? So it will be equal to the base upon hypotenuse. So base is OL and hypotenuse is OP. So therefore we have to go for the cos and not for the sine or any other ratio. Okay, because for the sine we require the adjacent side, length of the adjacent side, which is not known to us. So base upon hypotenuse, therefore we will go for the cosine ratio. So therefore what we have here, so we have from in right angle triangle, from right angle triangle OPL, or it is angle right angled at L, therefore we will write down OLP instead of OPL. Okay, from right angle triangle OLP, we have cos of angle LOP, cos of angle LOP, cos of angle LOP is equal to cosine of this angle. Which one angle? Cosine of the angle this LOP, because this angle is suppose alpha. Cosine of the angle LOP is equal to the OL upon OP. It is equal to the OL divided by OP. Okay, now what does this means? So this implies that, but the cosine of the angle LOP is nothing but it is cos of alpha, because we have considered that the angle LOP is equal to alpha. So therefore we will get cos alpha is equal to OL upon OP. It is equal to OL upon OP. Okay, again this implies that OL upon OP, but what is the length OL? Length OL, from the figure it is clear that length OL is equal to x and length OP is equal to r. So put the values from the figure. So this gives us, so which implies that, so this implies that cos alpha is equal to what we got. So cos alpha is equal to, it is x upon r. Okay, cos alpha is equal to the x upon r. But cos alpha is nothing but it is the, cos alpha means direction cosine of, first direction cosine of the given line. Okay, line OP means that given line, and that we denote by the L. So which implies that L equal to x by r. L is equal to x by r. So this is the relationship, and this x equal to L equal to x by r can be written in a simplified form as this implies x equal to, if we transfer this L to the other side, then we will get x equal to LR, and this is that required thing that we wish to obtain. Okay, so therefore we have obtained a relationship as the x equal to LR. Now similarly, instead of taking the perpendicular from the point P on the x-axis, if we take the perpendicular from point P on the y-axis, we obtained y equal to MR. And if we draw a perpendicular from point P on the z-axis, then we will obtain z equal to NR. Okay, so as those are very much similar to the first, therefore we will just mention them. It is not necessary to obtain those remaining two relationships. Okay, so just similarly we can mention it. So similarly we get y equal to mr and z equal to nr. Okay, so like such we have obtained the relationship. So this is an important relationship that we have obtained here. Okay, now next article is about the relationship between direction cosines. Now we will obtain a very important relationship between the direction cosines of a line. Relation between direction cosines means DCS of a line. Okay, let us suppose that we have a line and its direction cosines are L, M and N. Then we are going to obtain a relationship between the L, M and N. So see here, suppose L, M, N are the direction cosines of the line. Okay, and then we have to show that the relationship between them is the L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. So if L, M, N are DCS means direction cosines of a line, okay, then show that or prove that what you have to show, L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. In words, this can be called as the sum of the squares of direction cosines of any line is always equal to unity. Unity means 1. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Sum of squares, sum means SUM, sum, addition. Sum of squares of direction cosines of any line is always equal to the unity. Unity means 1. So this we are going to prove here now. Okay, so proof of this, So for the proof, as usual, we have to consider the figure that we have considered just before some time. Okay, so as earlier we have drawn a diagram. Okay, see here, let P be a point having coordinates x, y, z. Let OP, we'll join the point P by drawing a line through the origin, and that line is OP. Let OP, it is equal to the distance r, it is given, OP is equal to r. Okay, through the point P we draw a perpendicular on x positive direction of x-axis such that the foot of the perpendicular is at point PL, so that this is the angle OLP is of the 90 degrees. Then the distance OL will be equal to x. Then as we have obtained earlier, in the similar way we got the relationship as the x will obtain. What we got? We will get x equal to LR, y equal to MR and z equal to NR. Okay, so we get as earlier, as it is explained in the earlier article, so we get x equal to LR, y equal to MR and z equal to NR. Okay, x equal to LR, y equal to MR, z equal to NR. These relationships we obtain. Next one, now to obtain a relationship between L, M and N, obviously what we'll get? So we'll take square of all these three x, y, z and we'll add. Okay, so we'll squaring and adding. Okay, squaring and adding we get. So squaring and adding will get x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, x square plus y square plus z square, it will be equal to L square r square. LR square is L square r square plus m square r square, and finally nr square is n square r square. Okay, so this is nothing but, so we can take the r square common, and after taking the r square common, this becomes l square plus m square plus n square. So l square plus m square plus n square into r square. We have taken the r square common from the right hand side. Okay, so we have got this relationship. Next one, we will denote this one relationship. What we got? We got the x square plus y square plus z square is equal to the l square plus m square plus n square into r square. Okay, we will denote this relationship by the equation number 1. This is our equation number 1. Equation number 1. Okay, now after obtaining the equation number 1, again from figure it is clear that we have r is equal to OP. Okay, from figure we have r equal to distance OP. Therefore, r square is equal to OP square. Okay, and which is equal to, by the distance formula, OP is coordinates of O are 0, 0, 0 and coordinates of P are x, y, z. Therefore, by the distance formula, OP square is nothing but it is the x square plus y square plus z square. So this is x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, x square plus y square plus z square. This is the value of r square. Now this one will put this value of r square in, this is suppose our relation number 2nd. Okay, so we'll put the value of this x square r square as x square plus y square plus z square in the relation number 1. Therefore using 2 in 1, okay, from the 2 we'll put the value of r square in that x square plus y, value of r square as x square plus y square plus z square in the relation 1 we get. So substitute this value. So after putting this value in the relation number 1, we will obtain that left hand side was x square plus y square plus z square. So therefore we will get x square plus y square plus z square, x square plus y square plus z square left hand side as it is equal to the right hand side we will get l square plus m square plus n square, l square plus m square plus n square into r square. R square is nothing but x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, now dividing both sides by the x square plus y square plus z square, what will get? So from this we'll get 1 is equal to simply l square plus m square plus n square. 1 is equal to l square plus m square plus n square. Okay, and that is, this can be written as hence. Therefore we got the relationship between the direction cosines, and that relationship is hence l square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. Okay, this is a very, very important relationship. This is a very, very important relationship between the direction cosines of a line. We have obtained this relationship. Okay, this is the important relationship. So this, after obtaining this relationship, the next one is we are going to see what is mean by the direction ratios of a line. Okay, direction ratios of a line. We have defined the direction cosines as the cosine of the angle made by a line with the positive directions of x, y and z axis. It is called as the direction cosines of a line. But many times we also require the direction ratios of a line. So therefore we'll go for the direction ratios of a line. Direction ratios of a line. Okay, let A, B, C be 3 real numbers. Okay, B 3 real numbers, be any 3 real numbers which are proportional to proportional to the direction cosines, okay, proportional to the direction cosines L, M, N of a line. Means suppose that we have a line whose direction cosines are L, M, N, and A, B, C are three real numbers which are proportional to L, M, N. Okay, then we get, then what we'll get, then we have a relationship. Then we have L upon A is equal to M upon B. Why it is so? Because they are in proportion. Okay, L upon A is equal to M upon B is equal to N upon C, and this is equal to, we'll take the under root of sum of the squares. So this is equal to plus or minus. As we are taking the square root, therefore we have to take plus minus sign. Okay, plus or minus, it is square root of L square plus M square plus N square, L square plus M square plus N square, divided by again square root of A square plus B square plus C square, square root of A square plus B square plus C square. Okay, so it is this. So from here we obtain, if we equate this L by A, M by B and N by C separately with this right hand side, then we will obtain, this gives us, so L is equal to, plus or minus, L is equal to plus or minus, what we'll get? So if we equate the first L by A with this, then obviously A can be transferred to the right hand side, and we'll get, so it is equal to the plus minus A upon under root of A square plus B square plus C square. Why? Because this L square plus M square plus N square is nothing but it is equal to 1, that we have proved just now. Okay, so this is equal to plus minus simply 1 upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, A square plus B square plus C square. Okay, therefore we got L equal to plus minus A upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, A square plus B square plus C square. Similarly we get, if we equate M by B, second quantity M by B, with the 1 plus minus 1 upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, then we obtain M equal to, plus minus B upon, M equal to plus minus B upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, A square plus B square plus C square. And finally, when we equate this N by C with the same, with the plus minus 1 upon under root of A square plus B square plus C square, then we will obtain the next one relationship, or the value of N, as N is equal to plus minus C upon, okay, C upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, A square plus B square plus C square. But L, M, N were the direction cosines. Okay, therefore if the direction ratios of a line are A, B, C, then plus minus A upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, then plus minus B upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square, and plus minus C upon square root of A square plus B square plus C square are the direction ratios of that line. Okay, so if the direction ratios are given, then direction cosines of that line. If the direction ratios are known, then the direction cosines can be obtained by using this relationship. Okay, so it is this. So here obviously the positive or negative sign is to be, we have to choose throughout. Okay, so we have to choose the either plus throughout or the minus throughout. So direction ratios. So what are the direction ratios then? So we can define the direction ratios then in such a manner that if L, M, N are the direction cosines of a line, then three real numbers which are proportional to the direction cosines of a line are called as the direction ratios of that line. Okay, so see here we'll define that direction ratios then. Okay, so direction ratios, that as we can define the direction, we denote the direction cosines in short by the DCS. Similarly, direction ratios are denoted in short by the DRS. So direction ratios, in short DRS, direction ratios. Okay, see here, a set of three numbers proportional to the DCS, direction cosines of a line. Okay, three numbers proportional to the DCS of a line are called the DRS, means direction ratios of the line. They are called the direction ratios of that line. Okay, direction ratios of the line. And obviously we know that if ABC are direction ratios of a line, then the direction cosines are given by plus minus a upon square root of a square plus b square plus c square, plus minus b upon square root of a square plus b square plus c square, and plus minus c upon square root of a square plus b square plus c square. Okay, it is this. And one important thing also will mention here. That important thing is about the direction cosines of a line if it is taken in the or extended in the negative directions. Okay, so if direction cosines of a line are L, M, N. Okay, if direction cosines of a line are L, M, N, then the direction cosines, then the DCS means direction cosines of, then the direction cosines of line taken in the or extended in the negative direction. Okay, so then the direction cosines of same line extended in the negative directions, means if we take the angles with the negative directions of x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, then we will get, okay, then the directions of the same line are also, they are also minus L, minus M and minus N. Okay, minus L, minus M and minus N. So it is this, which means that if the direction cosines of a line are, suppose 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, then the direction cosines of the same line be minus 1 by root 3, minus 1 by root 3 and minus 1 by root 3. Okay, so in this class we have discussed about the direction ratios and direction cosines. Now, how to distinguish between the direction ratios and direction cosines, or if we have given the direction ratios, then how to find out the direction cosines, that the formula we have seen. But to distinguish between the direction ratios and direction cosines, the important formula that we have obtained, it can be used, and that formula was, if L, M, N are DCS means direction cosines, then we always have L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. Okay, if L, M, N are direction cosines, then L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. So we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class and we'll solve some examples in the next class based on this direction ratios and direction cosines of a line. Thank you.